What's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy Tyrone, the fitness halfwit, and I thought I'd bring you round 2 of Tyrone fitness challenges. After I totally destroyed Omar Ass Smurf and Keen Nobody in the overhead press 135 challenge, I was looking for the next big thing that I could do to show you how shredded I am. And you know what? I found it. The bodyweight bench press challenge. So we went to the gym and the gym was closed, but I'm Tyrone. I don't need no gym. I don't even need a bench. I'm gonna show you how it's done. I'm gonna take my body weight, I'm gonna bench press it. So many times, you won't even believe how many times. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3,
That's
4.
That's not a bench press.
What?
That's not a bench press. That's a push-up.
What?
It's a push-up.
It's my body weight. I'm pressing it.
Yeah. In a push-up, you're pushing up. It's a push-up.
Man, you do it. You can't do this. 1, 2, 3,
An idiot.
4. What's up, motivators? Welcome back. It's Kevin. This is Pure Bullfit. If you're one of the few people out there who was lucky enough not to know who that clip was about, let me steal that peace of mind from you. Tyrone the Fitness Addict is one of the most egregious, mouth-breathing, wall-touching fitfluencers out there. He's responsible for such nuggets of wisdom as 20 push-ups a day for a ripped chest and the salmonella shake. And I wish I could say that was just the new Cupid Shuffle, but no. If you want to know more about that atrocity, I recommend watching the Alan Roberts Every Damn Day Fitness video I've linked below on the subject. It's disturbing. But I digress. In one of his recent videos, Tyrone takes on the 135-pound overhead press challenge and talks mad shit about Omar Isuf and Kino Body's 22 and 15 reps respectively. But then he posts this shit. Okay, so a couple of things to unpack here. First, that's not Omar's challenge. He did the challenge, and in his polite Canadian way, made fun of it. In fact, a number of us did the challenge to point out how ridiculous the static weight and arbitrary reps were to determine strength. Secondly, that's a push press. That's not an overhead press. They're different exercises, dumbass. In fact, the leg drive makes the push press significantly easier. But when somebody pointed that out to Tyrone, his response was, "Shut the fuck up, you try it." Worse yet, after he pumps out 27 garbage reps, he starts talking this smack.
I beat Omar. I beat Kino Body. Come up with something challenging, guys. This is not challenging.
I haven't seen cringeworthy shit talk like this since, well...
You know what? I'm about to say it. Say it. I don't care that you broke your elbow.
You are in bad company, man. Look, Tyrone doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground, but that doesn't stop him from sharing misinformation and patently dangerous advice with his audience of 350,000 people. That is social media fitness. That is the problem. And that is why channels like this and call-out channels everywhere have to exist. I do not believe that it is enough to simply put out good information that people can use when you have so much bad information that they have to sift through just to find. But this video isn't really about Tyrone. He's just an example of the problem that we have with social media fitness. One of our community members asked me in a video a few months back if I could go ahead and offer up somebody that we can trust when I point out somebody that we shouldn't trust. That I should point out a positive when I bring up a negative. And you know what? I said it was a good idea then, and I intend to keep that promise. So today, in this video, for every person that I call out and say you should be wary of, I'm going to point you in the direction of someone I feel like you can trust. So with that, let's get started. First up, exercise physiology and nutrition. This concerns the areas of how activity affects the body, how we burn fat, how we build muscle, how food affects those processes. This content is usually pretty easily identifiable because the word study shows up in it somewhere, almost always. But the problem is, studies aren't all created equal, and not everybody knows how to use them. Take, for instance, Thomas DeLauer. If you're familiar at all with my content, you're probably familiar with that name. Here's a guy who bought six-pack shortcuts from Mike Chan and made it less reputable. He has a reputation for passing on bunk-ass information as legitimate fitness and nutrition advice. He thinks you can spot reduce fat, sells exogenous ketone bodies, and thinks bananas are evil. Don't listen to Tom. Listen instead to James Linker over at Shredded Sports Science. Unlike Thomas DeLauer, he's an actual credentialed sports scientist with deep knowledge of the subject matter. He has an objective, rational mind that he is set to the task of debunking all the junk in the fitness industry to give you actionable information that you could do something with to lead better quality, longer lives. His content is reliable, easy to understand, and funny as hell. Follow him on Instagram and YouTube. How-to and tutorials. There are a lot of how-to videos on the internet. You type in any fitness-related search criteria and you're going to get results back like...
Yeah.
With so much information out there and much of it conflicting, it can be really hard to know where to start. And it doesn't take long in your search before you stumble across well-known figures like Jim Stoppani or Joel Seedman. Both, despite having PhDs, managed to defecate all over well-established fitness principles and make promises they can't keep, charge exorbitant prices to reinvent the wheel. Apparently, their PhDs are in first-world bullshit business practices. So who does put out content that won't put you in the poorhouse or in traction? Well, that really depends on what you're looking for, because contrary to what some would have you believe, nobody knows everything. Here's a few places that you can start. If you're looking for full-spectrum fitness with a focus on athleticism, with longevity and risk prevention in mind, I suggest checking out Jeff Cavaliere over at AthleanX. He's got about 10 years of videos, over 1,000 videos, and is a highly credentialed strength coach. Interested in general strength training or powerlifting? I suggest checking out Omar Isuf and Alan Thrall. Both have histories of putting out volumes of free content on training and technique tips for the major compound lifts. Now, I haven't had the pleasure of working with Omar in any capacity, but I have been a fan for a long time, and he puts out consistently good content that he holds himself accountable to. Alan, on the other hand, I have had the opportunity to meet in person and watch compete many times at California's Strongest Man, an event run by my former coach Scott Brengel at East Coast West Coast Strength and Conditioning. Alan is a down-to-earth dude who puts out consistently good and reliable content. Alan, if you happen to be watching, I don't know if you remember, but I'm the guy that bought your dad that event t-shirt that one time. I insisted on buying it because I was an early fan of your content. I gotta tell you, man, it has only gotten better with time. Programming. Now, this is a damn minefield. Unfortunately, there's no rule of law or governing body that enforces that you have to have some sort of credentials to be able to create and sell fitness programs for people. In fact, fitfluencers around the globe have demonstrated you don't even need to know the difference between your humerus and your femur. I'm looking at you, Vince. Sadly, there are a lot of snake oil salesmen out there with no substance and cookie-cutter programs. People to be on the lookout for are familiar names around here. Folks like Brittany Dawn, Remington James Fitness, V-Shreds. Anybody who has a secret. I got a newsflash for you guys. There are no secrets. Exercise science may not be simple, but it is straightforward. You either know it or you don't. That's the secret. So who can you trust? Well, you're going to start to see a theme forming from here. For full-body programs focusing on athleticism, risk prevention, and longevity, look no further than Jeff Cavaliere and AthleanX programs. He's got a program for every goal, and they are thorough programs that often include nutritional guidance and information on supplements. Another outstanding source for a full spectrum of programs is Alan Roberts and Every Damn Day Fitness. I have used these programs myself to great effect when I was recovering from a pec tear last year. They run from 12 to 25 weeks and are outstanding programs. More interested in yoga or simple circuit training that you can do at home? Check out Damn Serenity Athletics, run by Crystal Roberts. She is one of the most knowledgeable fitness professionals I have ever encountered and a really solid source of information. Additionally, her services are exceptionally affordable. You can do them at home using the pre-recorded programs, or you can do them live with Crystal herself. She has programs that are appropriate for absolute beginners like myself, all the way up to advanced practitioners. Looks like strongman is in vogue again, with more people interested in lifting Atlas stones, circus dumbbells, car deadlifts, tire flips, and all manner of implements associated with the sport. But it can be difficult to find legitimate training in a legitimate strongman gym. There aren't a lot of them locally. So you might have to look for an online trainer, but there are precious few of them, and even fewer that are worth a damn. One that is worth a damn is Leifa Ingalls at Unicorn Strength. She is a world champion and world record holder in a number of events. She's also one of the first women to ever lift the Husafell stone. If you don't know what the Husafell stone is, you're not ready for strongman. If you want to learn, you should check out Unicorn Strength. What's that? You're not keen on learning strongman from a woman. My dude, she's stronger than you are. She's multi-time world's strongest woman. You should sit down, shut up, and listen. Her online programs are legit, and unlike so many parasites you find in this community, she's actually invested in your success. Weight management and a healthy living philosophy. These are dangerous times where it is not popular to talk about fat loss, before and after pictures, or a healthy relationship with food. There are a lot of would-be gurus that have breathed deep through their own balls and bought into their own legend. These philosophers of fitness would have you believe that they have achieved a level of enlightenment that you can too, for the low, low price of your dignity and whatever you have left in your wallet. Folks like Elliot Hughes, who will cure you of your beta syndrome and bring back your wayward women. Guys like V-Shreds, who have discovered the secret of fat burning through eating Kit Kats and pizza. And Kinobody, who, let's face it, there's no continuity to his bullshit. He just kind of makes it up as he goes along. These are nothing more than cults of personality and lifestyle fitness that suck you in, bleed you dry, and teach you nothing other than to be wary of fitness. No, if a realistic view of your relationship with nutrition, accountability, and the mental independence from food addiction is your goal, check out the Damn Collective, the combined efforts of Damn Serenity Athletics and Every Damn Day Fitness. And I am proud to be a member of that team, helping people learn the skills that they need to be independent of a service like ours, or Weight Watchers, or any of the other services out there that are supposed to solve your problem. Instead of giving you a temporary fix, we seek to teach you the skills, identify the triggers, build your resilience to a world that doesn't give a rat's ass about your health, help you make the right decisions, and figure out what it is that puts you in the vulnerable positions to begin with. We do this through daily contact and accountability. We do it through actionable skill teaching, things that you can take with you and eventually be independent of us. And we do it in a 4-month program. I'm proud to be a part of a program like that. Want to skip all of the ball-breathing, pizza-eating pseudoscience? Check us out. In fact, earlier today, I was told that we are still running the 4-month summer sale. So if you want to jump on and take advantage of that, I have included in the link below. If you got 50 to 100 pounds to lose, I highly suggest you check us out and see what we have to offer. And that brings us to our last item. Gyms. Now, I don't know why I get asked this a lot, but I do. People ask me what I think about Planet Fitness, or Golds, or CrossFit boxes. Not particular ones, mind you, but the chains. And I guess my answer is, they're all shit. Without you. You see, without you, a gym is just like a hammer. It sits on the floor inert until you pick it up to do something with it. And what you decide to do with it determines whether or not it's a good tool or a bad tool. As a matter of fact, depending on your goal, you don't even need a gym necessarily. Maybe you just need to get up and moving. But I will tell you one thing. If I had to pick one gym that was the best in the country, it'd be East Coast, West Coast Strength and Conditioning. I didn't mince words there. Best gym in the country. Look, Scott doesn't just train champions like Leifa Engels and Sean Demarius and California's 4-time strongest man, Chris Burke. He trains schlubs like me. He took me, a broken, battered, bent-over shell of a Marine, medically retired, didn't think that I could squat at all, and he helped me get my body back. Him and his team, Casey, Sherry, Kevin, everybody. You helped me get my body back and made me the strongest I've ever been in my entire life. I know their program works, and I know every last one of those coaches cares. They care about their people, and they demand the absolute best out of you. It is the finest gym in the land. If you're in Southern California and you're not trying to train at East Coast, West Coast Strength, Speed, and Conditioning, you're wrong. Okay, guys, that's it. Social media fitness, flop or follow. If you think I missed anybody, let me know in the comments below, and I promise I will check them out. And until I see you guys in the next video, maybe go fit yourself. Give it a try. You might like it.
Yeah, baby.